Hey everybody. Got an early one today. It is Healthy Hump Day. I'm trying something a little bit different. Give me a thumbs up if my camera is good, because I want to make sure I'm not sideways and that you're like all having to watch sideways. So just if you can like this, if you can see it and it's good and the angle is good, because I have it a little bit, I have it different. Okay, I think that means it's good. Okay, so normally I would do this a little bit later, but my recipe that I'm doing for dinner tonight is actually going to be soup, and sorry, that's not the one I'm sharing with you today. Maybe another day, but today I thought I needed to do some food prepping, and I thought, why not share with you one of my favorite breakfast quiches. This is super, super easy. It's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients is all you need. And you can whip this thing together, and then you literally have enough for 9 meals out of this breakfast quiche. So it is going to be more Thrive phase friendly. So if that makes sense, those of you that I've coached, that would make sense. Time out. Those of you that don't know who I am, you're really missing out. My name is Kelly Bonomo. I am an IBNFC, which is the International Board of Nutrition and Fitness Coaching nutritionist, and I teach the importance of stabilizing the blood sugar to create balance in your body. And one of my passions is coming up with different recipes to help you learn how to create a healthy lifestyle and enjoy your food. So I love to prove to people that you don't have to be on a chicken and broccoli diet, that we can create some delicious, healthy meals, snacks, desserts, and we can enjoy our food, and we can still take control of our health. So today, you're gonna get a little bonus. First thing is the recipe that I'm doing, in case you're just getting on, is one of my favorite breakfast quiches. I normally like to have this on hand, but I haven't made it in a few weeks, so I've decided I'm gonna make it now. I'm gonna show you how I put it together, and then you'll have to watch like Facebook later, and I'll post a picture of it. So it's literally 5 ingredients. Hold on, because one of my ingredients is just coming out of the oven now, and that's the bonus that I'm gonna share with you. So let me move my camera down here a little bit. So this is homemade roasted red peppers. So they're not done yet. You can always buy them, obviously, in a jar, you know, like this. And this would work in our recipe that we're doing today, which this is probably what I'm going to use in the recipe, because these aren't looking like they're quite done yet. If you never have roasted vegetables or roasted red peppers, one thing that is awesome when you roast your own is that it brings out the sweetness in them. So how do you roast them? You basically cut them, de-rib and de-seed them. Preheat your oven at 425. Spray your cookie sheet. Layer your cookie sheet with all your red pepper. And seasoning that I put on this was literally just a little garlic powder. I did use a little bit of Mrs. Dash onion and herb, a little bit of Himalayan pink salt, and they have been in 425 degrees for 15 minutes. Then I flip them over. As you can see, they're nice and brown on the skin side. I flip them over, and then they're gonna actually go back in the oven for another 15 minutes on the opposite side. So that's what they should look like, nice and browned. Before they go in, this is what they look like. So I de-rib them, take all the seeds out, spray my cookie sheet, top them with some seasonings, roast them 425, 15 minutes each side. So that's the bonus. If you've never roasted vegetables, oh my gosh, roasting them just makes the flavor just awesome. Plus they're a little bit, like, I got those cheap because of, thanks to Burkhart's, fill the bag for 15 bucks. I had a lot of red peppers in my bag. So I got to roast them up so they don't go bad. All right, let's get to the recipe today. Oh, one more little bonus. I'm making soup tonight for dinner, and I'm going to have chicken in my soup. And I get this question a lot about how I cook my chicken. So it just depends on how quickly I need it. Sometimes I put it in the crock pot. Other times when I need it, like for a recipe tonight for dinner, I'm doing it in the Instant Pot. So I basically cut all the excess fat off of the chicken breast and any excess skin. I put it in the Instant Pot. I fill it where all of the chicken is completely submerged in the water. And then I just top it with my Mrs. Dash seasonings, my garlic powder, and then, I know it's backwards, so I'm sorry. And then what I do is I actually hit pressure cook, and I pressure cook it for 30 minutes. So once it cooks for 30 minutes, then I leave it in the Instant Pot for another 45 minutes to an hour, probably about 45 minutes most times. And then what happens, then I release the pressure out of it, and that chicken will literally shred apart, and then I'm going to use it in my soup tonight. So it's a very fast way to cook chicken quickly and still keep it tender and not tough. Okay, those are your two bonuses, the roasted red peppers and the chicken. Now we're going to get to the recipe for the day. So if you're just getting on, or if you didn't catch the beginning of this, we are making one of my favorite breakfast quiches. This is so easy. I literally am using a 9x9, like a brownie dish or an 8x8 dish. And then I'm going to use 32 ounces of egg whites. I've preheated my oven to 375. I'm going to pour my egg whites in my dish. This is how crazy easy this is. Okay, grabbing my cutting board. Then all I'm going to do is basically put all of my fillings. Now normally I would, if I didn't have this jarred of roasted red peppers, I would be using the ones that I'm roasting in the oven. But I like roasted red peppers, so they're going to all get used. So I would probably use, I don't know, maybe about a half a jar. This jar is, I don't know how many ounces it is, 16 ounces, so probably about 8 ounces. Red pepper are very low carb, so all I'm doing is I'm just cutting these up so they're not in like big old chunks. Perfect. And then I'm just going to disperse this in those egg whites. So again, probably about a half a jar, roughly maybe about 8 to 10 ounces. Okay, cool. Now, I also love artichoke hearts. Artichoke hearts are very low carb. I always get the ones that are in water. You can actually get these at Aldi's too. This is being ridiculously stubborn. Okay. So I'm going to do, this jar I think is about 12 ounces. So I'm going to do probably about half of this jar also of artichoke hearts. That's good. Same thing. I'm going to cut these puppies up. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to just put them through my egg whites. Hi, Callie. Very good. So far I have 32 ounces of egg whites, about 8 ounces of roasted red peppers, about 6 ounces of artichoke hearts. Then I got this bag of sun-dried tomatoes. So you can get sun-dried tomatoes in a jar. They come with oil most of the time. This way I'm gonna actually control the amount of fat that's going into this recipe. These have no fat. If you're getting sun-dried tomatoes in oil, they're gonna have some fat in it. So this entire bag is 3 ounces. I'm gonna actually take probably about half of this bag, which is about 1.5 ounces, maybe if I get it open. Okay, and then I'm also going to chop these up. So the cool thing about using a dehydrated sun-dried tomato is obviously as it cooks, they're gonna get moist. They're not gonna be tough. So you can chop these up a little bit. Good enough. Sprinkle those in there. All right, and then the last ingredient, and this one you could totally leave out if you want, but I love goat cheese. So it's a little 4 ounce container or little 4 ounce package of goat cheese. If you want, you could do 4 ounces of feta cheese. This is actually gonna be, if you've never used goat cheese, it's very creamy. So I'm gonna just use this right out of the package, and I'm gonna just cut it into pieces and just drop it into this quiche. And then we're gonna make sure that there's a little bit all over the place here. So 4 ounces, this little thing is gonna be basically my fat in this recipe. My protein is my egg whites, obviously. And then the carb is gonna be very low carb because really we only have the sun-dried tomatoes. The artichoke hearts is nothing. The roasted red peppers are minimal. Notice I used absolutely no seasoning. You don't really need any seasoning in this between the roasted red peppers and the flavor from the goat cheese. Once you bake it, it's so good. Okay, so questions. Okay, looks like just one. Laura. So you can use feta cheese if you don't like goat cheese. Or you can completely omit the cheese and then have nuts on the side or a little slice of avocado on the side for your fat. I like goat cheese, so that's why I put it in there. You could do feta cheese. You could do probably even about 4 ounces of mozzarella in there. Or you could probably do like 4 ounces of like a Parmesan would be fine. So, you know, the whole purpose of the cheese is to give you the fat content of the recipe. So this is gonna bake at 375. I'm gonna check it at about 35 minutes, and you just wanna make sure that when you stick a toothpick or a fork in the center that it comes out clean. You'll know what I mean. And then I would let it sit and cool completely before you put it in the refrigerator. So sometimes what happens with this is it might get watery from the artichoke hearts or from the roasted red pepper. But as the quiche sits and cools down, all those flavors combine, and then obviously as it cools down, it's not steaming as much, so you have less water. So there you go. So this breakfast quiche, or you could have it really anytime if you want, well, then I will cut it into actually 9. So 3 by 3, and then each square will count pretty much as my protein, my fat, and then I probably will have a little bit of fruit on the side for my carb to make it even a little bit more balanced meal. So this is going in the oven, 375 for approximately 30 to 40 minutes. Everybody's oven cooks differently, but there you have it. So that is an egg white roasted red pepper, sun-dried tomato, and goat cheese quiche. Breakfast for tomorrow. Okay, so that is your hump day recipe. I'm gonna get this in the oven, and if you loved this, share it. If you want to see other recipes that I've done in this kitchen, feel free to go to my YouTube channel, Kelly Bonomo, and you can absolutely go there and subscribe. I've got all kinds of recipes in there to just continue to give you more ideas. So I will be back with Healthy Hump Day every Wednesday. The times really just kind of depend. Next week it's probably going to be later in the evening because I'm down for surgery 2 weeks from tomorrow for my new hip. So hope you guys love this. I'll see you next Wednesday for Healthy Hump Day, and probably Monday or Tuesday for tea time. Okay, God bless you guys. Mwah.